welcome back to your Best Self podcast. I'm Adriana, and today we're talking about how to be the creator of your own life. So, in the last episode, we talked about how to take charge of your life, and we discussed how to get out of the victim mindset in order to empower yourself and take back control of your life. This was a necessary introduction and prep to today's episode, where we will talk about how to be the creator of your life. So, after taking charge and control of your life, you need to know how to be the creator of your life. So, if you didn't watch that episode yet, you can go and listen to it so you can be prepped. For me, I like when things are done in order. So if you're like me and you like to get information like building blocks, that will help. So let's get into it. So the thing is that the problem that a lot of us face is that we have a lot of things that we want to achieve, but we don't see ourselves progressing towards them in the speed that we want, or we don't see progress in them at all. We feel so far from our desires and even further from the fulfillment of them. And guys, let me tell you, you are not alone. Today, I will give you insights on how to discover your desires, recognizing what's stopping you from getting them, and figuring out what you need to do to make those desires a reality. The point of being here is to know who you are, to discover your desires and what they are, and to exercise your God-given powers in order to fulfill those desires. Your goal should be to experience thoughts and feelings that are in alignment with what you want. The people you see succeeding in life are the ones that have that figured out. They have 75, 80, 90% of their thoughts and feelings being in alignment with what it is that they want. But instead, most of society, what they're doing is the opposite, with 90% of their thoughts being anxiety, fear, worry, jealousy, and so on. So that's what their reality manifests in their life. Most people even do it unconsciously. This fear and anxiety is so well established inside of them from maybe the length or intensity of them experiencing those feelings that they end up creating this unconsciously for themselves. And no matter how positive they try to be, if they don't uproot those fears from their subconscious and make them conscious, then this will continue happening for them. But that's why it's so important to remind yourself that you are the creator of your reality. This will allow you to get back control and stop allowing all external circumstances and situations to determine your life and where you head in life. So first things first, the biggest challenge in becoming the creator of your own life is to know that you are. So you need to cultivate awareness of your true self. Most of the times we fall victim of our own perception of ourselves. And that's what I spoke about in the last episode. We perceive ourselves as vulnerable beings. We perceive ourselves as victims of situations and circumstances, and that is rooted in the complete lack of awareness of our innate power, or because we were aware of it, but we have forgotten it. You forget that you are actually able to create the reality you want. Understanding your thoughts and understanding your emotions is crucial in order to consciously create. Because those thoughts and emotions are the elements that generate continuous frequencies that go ahead to create your life and reality. So how do you achieve your desires? Well, there are three core problems standing in your way of achieving them. Firstly, you don't know what you really want. Because if you did, you will already have it by now. Second, you might have an idea of what you desire, but you have a lot of disbelief, stress, and resistance around it. So you and your desire are two separate things living in two different worlds. And third problem is that you might know what your desire is, you know that it's possible for you, but you're unable to sustain your full attention and have a laser focus on that desire in order to make it come to fruition. You let other things become priority in your life, and you let those things take your attention away from your desire. So by understanding the problems that hold us back from the attainment of our desires, we immediately understand what the solution to those problems and the actions we need to take. So what you need to do is firstly discover and figure out your precise and true desires. Secondly, you need to banish stress and resistance and any disbelief around the idea of you achieving that desire. And that's easier said than done. And thirdly, you need to achieve laser focus and sustain your full attention on the achievement and carrying through of that desire to reality. Well, let's go into more depth in them in order to understand what exactly is that we need to do. The first step is in the recognition of our true desires. So you have different desires. The ones that are for you and they stem from you truly, and then you have desires that stem from the outside, from society, your family, and so on. So you think they are your desires, but they're actually just impressed on you by external factors, like society glorifying having a nice car, the latest iPhone, the 20K bag, the big position of the big company, and so on. So you need to get clear on what it is that you want. And then get the courage to let go of anything else. Because if it's not true for you, you're wasting your time. So you might be asking, like, how do I get clear and know what I want? Well, firstly, you do know what you want. You're just simply in disbelief that this thing is available and possible for you. You shy away from that desire just because you're afraid and intimidated by how big it is. But if you're still feeling a bit lost on getting clear on what you want, then your closest indicator is what it is that hurts the most. So get clear on what hurts you the most. So for example, do you feel jealous and resentment when you see a happy couple? Well, that's your indication that your soul is actually really craving that loving relationship, but you're creating all of these negative emotions around it in order to feel better. No, I don't need that, I don't want that. So it works like a coping mechanism, and it's pretty good because it's really working on convincing you that you really hate and you despise that thing, when in reality, your true desire is to have that happy relationship as well. Or, for example, if you're in a relationship and you have a lot of pain in your relationship, which creates a lot of disruption in your mind and energy, then this signals that deep down what you truly desire is to have a loving and healthy relationship. Another example is if you get jealous when you see someone being successful in what they're doing. Do you get envious when you see people achieving their goals or even working towards goals that make them happy and they're motivated towards? Well, that shows that your true desire is to be driven and to work towards your goals with the same focus, the same determination and motivation, or to simply have goals that make you so motivated and inspired. If you feel pain from your current job, you feel like it sucks the life out of you and this creates a lot of tension and discord in your life, then this means that your sole desire is to have a job that fulfills you and that makes you have energy, and it shows that what you desire is not in what you're actually currently having. Another example is if you get resentful when you see people with money and they're able to spend it however they want. Travel, eat outside, use it to do crazy fun stuff. Well, that shows you that you have this desire as well to live in such financial abundance and independence. Do you get jealous when you see someone with a nice, healthy, fit body? That's because you crave to have a body that you're proud of and feeling healthy and balanced in. So this works for so many other things. Just not where you get this feeling of envy, this feeling of jealousy or resentment towards. And that will tell you a lot about what is your true desire. And once you figure that out, you will have a clear indication of your path. If you discover a desire for healthy, balanced body, for example, you see that your next steps are towards a path of a healthy lifestyle and exercise. When you discover you have a desire for a happy and healthy relationship, you see that your path is one of being open to love. And this can be kind of ironic, discovering desire out of pain. But that's how life is, it hides the best lessons and the best treasures in the challenges and the pains that it gives you. So don't ever dismiss them. Try to use them to your advantage. Use them to see what it is that they're trying to teach you. So you can use that information to take yourself in the next level. You have to basically see life like a game of treasure hunting, getting clues one step at a time and using that clue to discover something that is vital to take you to the next level. Where is the next clue that will lead you to the next level? Where is the next clue? The second step is to banish stress, resistance, and disbelief around the achievement of our desire. So here we need to ask ourselves a question. How do I feel when I think about this desire? If I feel positive, relaxed, and whole already every time I'm thinking about that desire, then you're in the right way. You have to keep doing that. Okay? But if you feel anxiety, you feel stress, and a lot of resistance every time you think about this belief and this desire, then it's too hard for you at this point to try to flip these negative emotions into positive ones. It will feel pressured, it will feel fake, and not aligned. So what you should do instead is to take your mind completely away from the subject and focus it on things that bring you satisfaction, that bring you positive and fulfilling emotions right now at that moment. Whatever it is that brings you into alignment and makes you just feel positive about yourself. This way, you'll be able to create positive momentum that will build up, and slowly it will leak in all areas and all that you think. So if you're able to create a very strong and positive momentum of satisfaction, then slowly you could go back to thinking about your desire, and then you will notice that you're no longer holding so much resistance and so much anxiety towards this topic. You feel trust and you feel wholeness and relaxation, and it lets you understand and trust that even if this thing doesn't work out, you're still capable of being happy. You're still capable of feeling fulfilled and satisfied. Because look at me, I'm already feeling satisfied and fulfilled without this thing happening. I already showed to myself I was able to create positive momentum for myself to feel good and happy and content with myself already. So obviously I do not need this desire to become a reality to be that. So in this way, you are taking off the pedestal your desire and you're putting yourself in a positive momentum. And your desire has no option but to be attracted and magnetize towards you. The third step in achieving your desire is to keep your attention and focus on that desire. You have to understand you have two fundamental powers: your attention and your intention. Your attention is the focus of the power of your awareness. Intention is what you put your attention on. If you want something, you have to be able to sustain your attention on that thing long enough to get to completion. Through beginning, through middle, and end. So, first, know what it is. And second, sustain your attention on it long enough until its completion. And your attention goes all over the place when you get tired, when you get stressed, and you're in fear. And so it's imperative for you to be relaxed in order to keep your attention and awareness in your control. The power of your attention is so important and so fundamental in the achievement of any of your desires, and precisely because it holds so much power and influence in creating impact in this world, we see it being taken away from us in any possible manner. See, for example, the news. Keeping our attention towards negativity and what is happening outside in the world, what we're basically getting distracted by is fear. So that's why you see all over the news negative, fearful things that are happening all the time. They never show us anything positive. They never show us something hopeful. They know what they're doing. They want to keep us fearful. They want to keep us tight and not relaxed, and also keep your attention on that. Because if they don't, then your attention will be free to go to wherever it is that you want it on. The more you use your attention and intention, and the more you realize your own powers and competences and gain confidence in them, the more power you have. And guess who doesn't want to have their power shared? They don't. Fear does nothing for you. It's normal to experience it, but because you have a habit for it, but choose to put your attention into what you want and relax. And of course, it's not going to come first, but if you make it a habit and tell yourself you can, then this is going to happen for you. It's not that easy, but it is that simple. So that's why it requires you to be persistent and consistent to this. Relax deeply and then put your attention on what it is that you want. Another example of attention stealer is TikTok, which was basically created by the Chinese government and only giving access to anyone but their own population, because they know the impact it has. Firstly, taking away the attention of people from the important things that they need to focus on and using it as a distraction. And secondly, making that attention span that is left in them as short as possible. So when they decide to focus on something, they're not able to see it and focus on it. They're not able to see it and focus on it for more than a small period. Another of their sneaky methods is putting sugar in everything. And you're going to say, oh my God, what does that have to do with anything? Well, guess what is one of the biggest disorders caused by sugar? And I mean, besides obesity, cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and so on. Besides that, sugar has been found to lead to or intensify ADHD and ADD, which are basically lack of attention disorders. And they are relatively new disorders. They're disorders of our century. And we're wondering why more and more people are discovered to have this, It's because of our lifestyle. It's because of apps like TikTok, but also because of sugar. Because sugar is incorporated in everything we eat nowadays. Even in a simple tomato sauce, they're gonna put sugar. And this makes us wonder why all of this effort to minimize and take away our attention. Why is our attention so important? Well, it's because your attention is a superpower, is a part and is a key in achieving your anything you desire. And without it, you can't really do much. So what you need to do is reclaim your power, is to take back your attention and your undivided focus and use it wisely. Everything we consume affects us. You might be saying, no, that's not true. I know it doesn't bother me, but that's because you're not conscious of it. Subconsciously, all of this information are downloaded and they're gathered there in your subconscious, right? Influencing you and your decisions without even acknowledging it. Once you get complete control of your attention and where it goes, you can put that attention towards your intentions. If you discover you have a desire to be in a loving and happy relationship, then you are able to put your awareness and attention on the intention of being in that happy relationship. Once you say to yourself, I intend to work on this aspect of my life and shine that light and focus towards this area, then things are naturally going to unfold for you in this space in a way that will bring you closer to the fulfillment of your desire. You see, achieving your desires has always been seen as this impossible, hard to do thing that only special people seem to be able to do. We were raised to think that we are the problem, that we're not special enough, that we're not strong, that we're not smart and confident and beautiful enough, but these have nothing to do with it. They have been feeding us all of these harmful ideas, doing anything in their power to keep us away from realizing our own powers and abilities to achieve those desires. And that actually we don't need any special radioactive spider to bite us in order to be the hero of our life. It doesn't matter who you are, the equation is the same. 1 + 1 = 2. So it's the same with this equation. If you're able to discover your true desires, banish stress and resistance towards them, and you're able to sustain your attention and focus on carrying through that desire, then your desire is destined to be your reality. So this is it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you at the next one.